30. Yep, this is the right one. Now you can move that out of the way. Have to get up top, right there.
Things for me not good.
Okay.
We'll make it simple.
I think you're, it's already recording, so you need to go in and mute it. So tap here and mute it.
Istongon, Jokhayade Gaga. Istongon, Jokhayade Gaga. Remember, one person to more than one or group. Istongon, Jokhayade Gaga. Okay. Okay, remember, we're going to use sounds and we're learning phrases here. So we're going back to our previous lessons. So can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. So we're going back and I broke down phrases showing you, remember I told you all these sounds are in every Mvskoke word, So, and to show why I harp on sounds and why sounds are important. So that's what we're going to learn today. And I want to thank Desiree for teaching for me on Fridays. For the next 2 weeks, start last Friday and this Friday, she'll be teaching you again because of the fact that we have a challenge bowl. And for you people that don't know what a challenge bowl is, it's for elementary, middle school, and high school students in the Mvskoke Creek Nation Reservation that come, these schools, they compete and their history questions about the Mvskoke people, their Mvskoke Creek language involved. So as a language speaker, we go and we're judges on this. We do the language part of it. So we have to be there every Friday for the next, and we had it earlier, but because of weather, we had to reschedule and change things around. So this week is it. So this week, this Friday, I won't be here. And the next Friday, I won't be here because I'll be a judge there. And the first, we had middle school last Friday and we had 36 teams. So this week is going to be elementary. And I don't know how many there'll be on elementary, and then there'll be high school. And you would not believe the children that we see that does compete in these. And I learned a lot from them too, because I'm looking at all these children that are taking part in this competition. And and then, of course, they get they don't get compensated, but they win these trophies. They win trophies, and they're all for that. And we have them as far as Norman, Glenpool. Our strongest teams is Glenpool. So, but let's just give them a little shout out. Their students really study, and they really get into this language and history part. So we sit there. There's judge, which is me, match judge. There is timekeeper, and they got certain times to do this. They got certain seconds and to answer questions, and there's 5 on a team, I think 5 that goes on and they compete. And it's a school. So there are different schools. There's Norman, there's Coweta, there's Glenpool. There's different schools that does get into these competitions, and it's Good, says Max Rogers, says my brother is on that team. Good. So see these kids, it's really prestigious. It's been going on for years. So it's really a nice competition to see all these kids get involved with history. And that tells they know the history. What Oklahoma history books don't tell, this will. This does tell history, and then learning the language words, we have words on there that they have to get. And so it's really a good competition, and I've been involved with it about 11 years now. So, we're asked to come down there and judge, and it's a good thing, to see all these children. Well, we had middle school, and now it's going to be elementary. And these little kids, they know, because some of them are studying for this. And then they're going to have high school the week after. So, Challenge Bowl alumni. Look here, we got an alumni. Good. So, see, a lot of us has been in that. But when I was growing up, they didn't have that. When I was growing up, but my daughters were in on this. My daughters competed in this. So, it's been a good thing for the Mvskoke Nation, and a lot of people, a lot of kids in schools come into this. So it's been one of those little things that we do have that kids can get involved in. So, Friday I won't be here, and the next Friday I won't be here. And after that, then I'll be free. So I'll be here on your Fridays. Okay. This is Istungon Jok Hayadega. If you look at your sounds, all these sounds are in there. Okay, all these sounds. Istungon Jok Hayade De Gaga. That's more than one, but all those sounds are in there. And so that's why I harp on sounds. I harp on them. And I told you, before I said they may get redundant and it may get a little boring, but this is where, and I'm going to break it down exactly how it's written too. The way it's written, full dumgis, full dum. There should be a mark right here. Dumgis, bee flies. That's all it's saying. In English, it doesn't mean much. Bee flies. It doesn't make sense, but when you say full dumgis in Mvskoke, it makes every bit of sense. Okay, every bit. Here I said, yun lay gas. If you look at your sound paper, all this is in there. Yun, yeah, lay gas. Yun is here, legas is I sit. If you go back to your verbs, remember, you took legida was your infinitive verb. Legida, you dropped the iti, and add AC, you're doing it. Remember those papers we went over? Legas. That's saying I am doing it present, okay? Present tense. Just go back through your papers. Yan legas, or go back through your lessons. Borsit, likis. The cat runs. Okay, this should be just saying cat runs, but this says borsit. The et at the end, et, sit, it is the. Borsit likis. Remember? Legida, this legas, and likis. They're infinitive verbs. Litkida. But you're talking about third person, likis, third thing, third object, likis. So you're using that third ending, okay? Gaben, highest. Here we go again. The coat I make. That's exactly what this is saying. The coat I make. Gaben is coat. Highest. The is gaben. Highest. Okay. Remember Hayida? is your infinitive verb. But when you're doing it, you got to add the AC. The dog barks. If it. Here we go back up. If it. Wokis. Wokis. The dog. Wokis means barks. If it, the dog. Over there, it lays. A sand. Wakis. A sand. Wakis. A sand is over there. Wakis means it lays. Hian Lagos. Oh, should be Hian Wakis. It says lays. Wakis right here. Hian. Hian is here, right here. Wakis lays. Over there, he lays. I said Wakis. See, it's going back. It's just how it says and written, okay? Over there, a cow stands. A sand is over there, wagut, a cow, wheathis stands. Okay, a sand is over, a cow stands. A sand means over there or over there, okay? Tree is fallen, ido dulgis. See, this should be, you know, if you say tree is fallen, it doesn't make much sense, but when you say ido dulgis, it makes perfect sense. If that's a statement, if I went up to my mom and said ido dulgis, she would say, stamaman. Remember, we had that word, stamaman. When, where, what, how. Where? The mammon. See, she wouldn't think, but if you walked up to somewhere and said trees falling, they wouldn't really know in English what you're talking about. The mouse, the corn is eaten. Jissit, the mouse. Ajin, the corn. Babis. Babis means eaten. Jissit ajin babis. But the literal is the mouse, the corn is eaten. These are literal. Bosit chufan babis. The cat, right here, bosit. The rabbit, eaten, is eaten. Bosit chufan babis. If you walked up to somebody and said the cat, the rabbit is eaten, it ain't gonna make sense. This is literal what this is saying, okay? Bosit chufan babis. If you said that to a Creek speaking person, they'd say, oh no, or oh my God. Oh my God means oh my gosh, or oh Dangwadi, oh no. See, but if you walked up to somebody, a European person said the cat, the rabbit is eaten, they'll laugh you out, you know. But this is the literal translation of the cat is eating the rabbit. See, the cat is eating the rabbit would be the right way to say it in English. But here, the way the Creek is written is the cat, the rabbit is eating. Any questions so far? This is literal. And sometimes, you know, we have a hard time translating it because it has to be written in the right context and the right wording in order to get a translation going. And this was a little bit of a challenge for me because I had to write them in Creek first. In Mvskoke, I had to write it in Mvskoke first and then write it in English, and I had to write it in the right context in English first. Then write it in Mvskoke and then write it literal. I had trouble with a few of them. I was like, okay, what is this? Bullshit, chufin, Bobis. You're making a statement. You're telling somebody the cat is eating the rabbit right here. But literal, the cat, the rabbit is eating. That's weird. The ED due to the animal names is saying the cat, the, okay, the mouse. Okay, the ED, okay, is the mouse, corn is eaten. The cat, rabbit is eaten. Okay, that's the cat. Is that with any? Yes, not with all of them now. Like right here, wagat. Right here, wagat. I say in wagat wheatis. Hian wakis. So then I'm gonna go back over these rules here because y'all had that. Remember, it was on the Creek verbs where you add bullshit. And there was a recording on that. I went through that. We may have to go back through that long as y'all's learning this word content and how sounds are used. Okay, but I have that recording on there of that one. Ajin. You can't say aji. You can say aji or jufit. Jufin. That's where anytime the adjective. Okay, there's rules to this, and I'll bring it back up. I know what the rules are. I just can't get it offhand. Saying hombakji and babas. Okay, hombakji is eat. Y'all eat. But babas means eat it. Okay, eat it. I got all these rules, and I think it's on a previous recording, probably about a month or two ago. I went through that, like, gotcha. And there's rules on there. If I had it on me, I'd read it to you, but I want y'all to see it. So I have that. So I'll have to, if y'all go back through some of these recordings, I think it's on there. How these rules are written. Yes. So I think it's, how did that go? I'm trying to think of how that rule went. It's called a Creek verb. It's noun adjective when it's describing the adjective. I think that's how it went. You got to add it to the noun when the adjective, when it's doing something. I taught that class, but anyway, it's on a previous lesson. I'm going to have to get it back up here. I'll bring it back up. But your main thing here is ido, dolgis. See these sounds? This is where your right pronunciation and right, right way of getting these tones. Oh, sit, chufin babis. The sounds are all in this. Okay, they're all in this.
I'm gonna put this down. You can't see your face.
Oh, am I not sure?
Or let us-
Yeah, go ahead. I can't use it.
Okay. Yeah, and then you can just hit that line to get it out of your way.
What line?
So there, you click the box. Yeah, click there and hit the line. Okay, there you go.
Yes. Okay. Yes. There you go. There you go. There you go. Okay. So I have to bring that back up for the ones that just joined, though. I'll bring it back up. Okay. On that rules. There's those endings. Remember, I told you endings has a lot to do with how you speak. Okay.
Or I just asked you 2 weeks ago, you said we have lots of bags.
Plastic bags for you, not for the trash.
Can you mute your mic?
Yeah,
This is the one you were asking me. We have more, right?
Remy says she needs some.
Mahaya, it's Pamela Hornish.
Okay, I'm trying to find her here. Can you mute your mic, Pamela? Okay. These
I'm
are
trying.
literal. Okay, these are literal translations. Ijo nut dadit. Ilis. Look at all these sounds here, guys. Look at all of these sounds. These are in your sounds. Ijo, natadit, ilis. But look how the literal translation is. Dear, the wounded is dying. That's the word content, okay? That's literal. But actually, if I was to translate this, I would say the wounded deer is dying. In the right, correct way, the wounded deer is dying, but this is ijo anatadit ilis, deer, the wounded is dying. See, okay, this is one way, and I got, that goes back to that rule paper I got. It goes back to that rule paper I have, okay? Coffee we have. It should be we have coffee in English. That's the right, correct way. But in Mvskoke, it's gaffin ojis. Look at all these sounds though. Gaffin ojis. Ooh. Okay. Goha ojis. We have cane. Cane we have though. With cane is that what we make baskets and stuff out of. Cane, that's what that's talking about. Should be seed. Cane, as goha. Cane is goha. But I want y'all to hear all these words too, because you're learning new words. Okay? Goha, ojis. Look here, look at all these sounds here. Tha, thon, hombes. Sathon, hombes. The fish I am eating is what it's saying, but correct way is I am eating fish. I am eating the fish. Any questions so far? Because this is how we speak, guys, and it's going, I have to bring that rule paper back up. I'll bring it. It was in the previous lesson before we started this, because it was going to start, we were going to start talking and doing word content, okay? Any questions or any, I don't want to lose you now, because this is where, this is talking right here. Somebody needs this. Somebody needs this means I am buying a basket. That's exactly, but literal, the basket I am buying. See? Good. This is really helpful. Okay. Is there a difference in Mvskoke between I eat and I am eating? No. They both mean the same. And that's why this is so different. And I'm showing you the difference here too, how English and Mvskoke are. Okay? This is something that we need to, this is, and I'll have to bring that rule paper up here. I'm going to look for it because I got it in the folder here somewhere. But see, somebody says the infinitive verb, remember I said we're verb prominent language. Ni says the verb to the infinitive verb is nisida. Listen to the ending. Nisida. Ida. You drop the ida and put AC at the end, and you're doing something, okay? But right here, it should say, I am buying a basket. I am buying a basket. That's correct English. But here in Mvskoke, somebody says, it's saying, the basket I am buying. Or the basket I'm buying. See? Okay? Sin yogan. Look at there. That is a sin yogan. Ni says. See how these sounds are going to help you guys. These sounds are broke down. Sin yogan. Ni says. That's a sifter. That's a sifter. Here, this is saying, I am buying a sifter. But here, literal, the sifter I am buying. Is this making sense to y'all? Is this going to help you? Because we can go back. If it's not, we can go back, because this is exactly how we speak. Okay. Isti Muskogalgi doorways. See these sounds? I'm breaking them. I'm talking just like these sounds. Then I'll put them together. Isti Muskogalgi doorways. How do we say basket? Samba. Samba. Just samba. Yeah, it is samba right here. SVMPV, samba. Samba, okay? It's samba. Yes, right, okay? Okay, so this saying, Senyoga sifter, and he says, I am buying a sifter. That's the correct way. But here, the way the Mvskoke is written, the sifter, I am buying. And here, Isti Mvskoke doorways. See, if when you're first learning, look here. Isti Mvskoke doorways. That's how I would say it. But then I would put it together. Isti Mvskoke doorways. You got your enunciation and you have your tone right there. But Isti is people. Mvskoke of the Mvskoke group, or the Mvskoke group, doorways, I am. But this is literal right here, but you would say, I am of the Mvskoke people, or I am of the Mvskoke group. See, this is how, now remember, it's going to get a little more complicated too. It's just these rules. It's just these rules. It's just these rules, and there's rules to every one of this. So in the previous recordings and stuff, we got the rules here. If you go back, it's called the Mvskoke verb, and they'll tell you how these endings are used. So any questions? Is this going to help you, or is this getting too in depth? You know, we were studying all these things to come up to this, you know, and that's why we went back through sounds. We went back through sounds. Anthony was impressed. Why did they say, okay, Mvskoke is general, the tribe, but Mvskoke is a group. Group are the people of, okay? The people of Mvskoke. That's just like clans. You know, you say I'm Wotko, but you can say I'm the group of the Wotko. So you say Wotkalgi. Wotkalgi, you're the group of the Mvskoke people. You're the Mvskoke people, part of that. It's like a group or organization. Okay, here we go again, guys. Look how many things I did with this. This is speaking, okay? Look here. Ihe hadi alaktuwes. Yes, I have just come. Somebody asked you, did you just not get here? Ihe hadi alaktuwes. But this is the way it's saying. But right here, yes, just come, I have. And you know, it seems kind of funny. When we speak, makes perfect sense in the Mvskoke language, but no sense in the European language, in the English language. That's why I say that this language is so unique. And to learn this language is the uniqueness that you have. It's just not it's a dying language, but yet look at how we speak. And look at how we can understand it. That's where, when I told you I did in-depth studying, this is what I was looking at. This is what I looked at. How we communicate. The communication, a unique communication that's just for our people. A communication for the ones that's learning it. If you want to learn this, you're going to learn. You're learning something. For one thing, that's more than since the beginning of time, an ancient language. And you can tell right here, it's ancient. But something that one day may be gone. And that's my fear. Because when this language goes, all this right here, I'm hoping this is going to be archived. Dalof Fatjan Allah guess. I came from toward town. But look here, town, Dalof, is short for Dalofa, Fatjan. Toward Allah guess I came. See, I came from toward town. That somebody asked you, which way did you come? I came from toward town. But here you're saying town toward I came. So I would say that somebody asked me, is the Fatjan Allah pizza? I would say Dalo Fatjan Allah guess. Okay. I came at noon. Fatjalegin Allah guess. Look here. Fatjalegin Allah guess. At noon I came, but this is saying I came at noon. This is where you're going to learn your sounds, for one thing. Learn your sounds, because this has every one of these words are broken into those sounds I told you. Every word comes from every one of those sounds is in this whole speaking thing we're doing today. Okay? But how this is written, and I will go back to those rules. I got it in here. It was on a previous lesson. Okay. My friend came with me. Anhisse ajajakatis. Anhisse ajajakatis. My friend came with me. My friend came with me. There's one right there. Un means my. Okay. Un. And there's remember we went through that. Un. It's on our previous lesson. Ani. Ani means I. This is just cutting it down. Anhisse, my friend. Ajajakatis. I'm breaking them down to so anhisse. Ajajakatis. And I still write this way sometimes, especially spelling. This is how I sound it out a lot of times to get my spelling. Okay, if I'm having a hard time with spelling, this is how I'll break it down, and then I'll know how to spell it. Okay, I am going to town. That makes sense. If I tell you I'm going to town, but to town you say Dalofen. Ah yes. Dalofen. Ah yes. The town I am going. This should be the town I am going. Remember, Ayida? Ayida is the infinitive verb. And when you're doing it, you add the AC, make it ayes. It is toward the north. This is north toward is. And this is what interested me about this language. It's when you look into this language, complicated. Our language is very complicated, but we're smart enough to speak it. And it takes, to do this, it's a, to teach this, it's a pleasure for me. Because I learn a lot every time I'm teaching y'all, because I'm like, and I get tickled sometimes, like when I read this myself, Okay, look here, the road to town is toward east. But here, town road east toward east. Dalof nini hasosafachados. Okay, here's one that's a good one right here. John's house is west. John's house is toward the west, you would say, but this right here, John's house is west. Look, Johnny. Look at John. Johnny. In Jogo Hasosafachados. Look at Johnny. We couldn't say Johnny. So they said Johnny. Johnny in Jogo Hasosafachados. So we're saying John's house is west, but here it's saying Johnny, his house, east toward is. His Injugal right here, that's third person, personal pronoun. That's third person, Injugal, his house. Johnny, look at Johnny. Johnny.
So Mvhayv, that would be confusing to me, only because I know my directions. When I first read that, I thought it was a typo. But you actually say east?
Oh, it is. It's east. It is. I'm sorry. This is east. This should be east.
Okay. And so the first.
Yeah, that's my mistake. East.
Okay. So
That
they
should
both
be
should east. Okay.
Sorry,
Thank you.
y'all guys. Y'all get that? This should be east right here. John's house is east, not west. West is Hajakalaka. That should be east. But look at Johnny. Like Mary, we didn't have Mary. We called it Mealy. Mealy. Jacob was Jigaby, and my grandson is Jigaby, and that's what they name him, Jigaby. But they call him Jacoby. The school calls him Jacoby, but his real name is Jigaby. That's Jacob. His name is Jacob. But they call him Jigaby. That's his real name, Jigaby. But the teachers and stuff, they call him Jacoby. But his real name is Jigaby. And Melina, the teachers call her Malena, but it's Melina. And Kaylee is Geely, but the teachers call her Kaylee. That's my grandkids. So that's how, see these names, we'll go through his names sometimes. Johnny, see? And this is, I'm sorry, this is east. Okay, Johnny, his house, Hasosa Fachados, toward is. Remember, dos is a filler for like is, it's, whatever, okay? Wiwa. The water is high or flooded. Wiwa logi dos. Wiwa, remember we always say owa. You can say owa, but I use wiwa. Somebody had a question last time. What's the difference between wiwa and owa? You only use it certain times, like wigewa for well, wihoniza for spring water, and right here wiwa. When you're putting it logidos. It's it's ui dash we logi dos. The water is higher flooded, but right here is water high is. Any questions so far? Any comments? Do we need to go back some? Okay. Akomeis. Akomeis. Okay, same thing, and that's dialect, okay? This is dialect. Sometimes they'll say, but you can hear that D on your deal, and some says, "Facha." It's same thing. It's same thing. This is the difference, though. Dialect. Facha and facha. Wiwa and owa. Wiwa is ui we a, and owa. Like we gewa. Remember, I told you it's just used certain times. You can't say owa gewa. That means water well. This we gewa is water well. Okay, you can only use it certain times, or we honija. We honija is like spring water, like wild water. It's wild. Honija means wild. So they call it we honija. And that's spring water. That's out in the woods or something that's natural. We gewa. Wewa, wewa, ui we a, wewa. There's a dash between here. Wewa, logi dos. Water high is what that literal translation for that. But this is actually saying the water is high or flooded. It's a statement. I can go and say the water is high, the water is flooded. But if I said water high is, hey, that's not, but this is in Mvskoke. That's the right way. We want logi those. You're saying water's high. Okay. Akomeis. Akomeis. Don't say what. So this has got to be situation. You're sitting there and somebody walks up and your kid's in there, you would say they're swimming. Swimming underwater. Akomeis. Swimming. Akome. Remember? Ak, ook. Ook is on top. Ak is under. Remember that? Remember when that was? Remember I told that rule too. Ak is under. Ook is on top. Okombida. Okombida means on top. Ak is on bottom. Remember? So this is under. Akomeis. Are you lost? Uh-huh. Let's see. Yeah, you can say it that way too. Uh-huh. It depends on how you Akomeis. Yeah. Can we say Akomeis? Uh-huh. Yes, you can say that. There you go, son. There you go. There you go. Akomeis. Yes. Woo, you're getting this, baby. Good job. See, you can say that. You're saying I'm swimming underwater. See? Okay. Good. Good job, Brendan. Okay. Are you lost? Jisungidi. Remember G? Go back to your personal pronoun. G. Sungidi. Remember G is you. Second person. Jisungidi. You lost. But perfect sense is are you lost? Remember D, anything at the end was a question. Jisungidi. Okay. Jilawidi. You hungry? G, see, this is the same thing. Jilawidi. Are you hungry? But literally you would say, you hungry? You know, okay. Any questions? And you're right, Brendan. You can use it anyway. Do you want to keep continuing doing this? Because I got a lot more sentences I could do, a lot more phrases. But these phrases, you're starting to know, learn new words. Gunitha is north. Fatjados, toward. Okay, Brendan brought up a good point here. Here's dialect. Fatja, fatja. Fatja, fatja. Some says fat with the T tongue on there and fatja. That's where. Okay. Which one sentences were they? Chilawidi?
Yeah, are you lost at Jalowati?
Okay, right here. Chilawidi. Remember D at the end, previous lessons is a question. You hungry? But it's saying you hungry. G is third person, second person. G on your personal pronouns. Okay. G is your second person. I'm talking to second person. Chilawidi. See, I'm talking to G. Because I'm Ja, G, E. First, second, and third. Any questions? Is this helping you or is it confusing? Because, or we can go back over the pronouns, verbs, and the endings on this, the Mvskoke verbs.
Mahaya,
Yes,
on that,
ma'am.
on that last one, I thought you were pronouncing the LA like a LO. That's what I was,
Jilawi.
okay, okay, thanks.
Ji, la, we did. Remember, put that tone in there because you're asking a question. You don't say Jilo. I can't even say it without Jilowidi. It's still a question. Jilowidi. That D at the end always is a question. Most of the time, 99% of the time, it's a question when you say D. Nagidi, what is that? You know. And this is on all those previous lessons we had. This was leading up to this. But I had to go back over sounds to let you know that every Mvskoke word is in those sounds you were learning. That's where enunciation comes in. Because we have a lot of people that mispronounce. And my job, you know, I mean, my personal way, I feel I'm not trying to change language. I can't change something that was beginning of time. I can't change it. But I can try to save it. Okay. I don't want to change what you know, I've heard Fujo. Fujo, that ain't a word in Mvskoke. It's Fojo. Fo, B-U dash G-O. Fojo. Fojo. It's duck. Any questions? Why all this is coming together here? You're trying to say cha komeyes dosti. Okay. What are you trying to say, Brendan?
Is he swimming underwater? I'm trying.
Well,
Is
hey,
he swimming
that's-
underwater?
I'm swimming underwater, or
Is he swimming under? He is it
Okay.
swimming underwater?
okay. So is he swimming underwater? Now look at it in English. Is he?
Okay, so just without the G because G is second person.
Yep.
So komayesh toshti.
Akomeyes, but you wouldn't want this. You would just say it. It's just a statement. You're telling them akomeyes right here, just like this. You would just have to say it, akomeyes, like right here. Just swimming underwater. You just have to say it. It's a statement. There, you know, you just saying he's swimming underwater. Akomeyes right here. Swimming underwater. You don't have to, if you're not going to name that person, you can just point akomeyes. Okay, somebody said, would I'm lost be unsungidos? That's an object, okay? If you say, dogna pori unsungidos, or dognawa unsungidos, but if you say, would I am lost be unsungi, that's object, okay? Unsungidos. But if you say, I am lost, you would say, jasungitos, ja. Remember, you can't transfer ja. There's ja, chi. Okay, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna put these rules back up. I'm gonna put these rules back up on next, maybe not this Friday, or I might have her just show it and so y'all can see it. Okay, personal pronouns. Okay, I'll put up personal pronouns here as soon as I can. But I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna put all these lessons back up. Okay. Previous lessons that I had, I think I'll put them back up. And that way y'all can have them to go back and refer to. Okay, remember personal job.
What's the difference in saying Toknawa and Toknawi?
There's no Dognawi, but there's Dognawa. Dognawa is money,
Okay.
but Dognawi, I don't know. You know, it's probably, you know, somebody mispronouncing. Okay. Dognawi. I don't know. And so see, this is where this is, even me misspelling something, it's not good. Like this right here, I had Hasosa, which is east, and I had, well, where was it? I had that one that said west. It confused you. See, even that right here, I had Hasosa's east, but I had west here. See, that's not good, okay? That's not good because I gave you the wrong, this should be east, but you're gonna think it's west, okay? So see, that's not a good thing. So I'm gonna have to correct that. And that's just like even Dognawi is, I don't know, but Dognawa is money, okay? And this is where, that's how come I try not to change the language. I try to save it. But you know, things like this, it's hard, you know, to get people understand. And some people will say, well, young people speaks this way. I don't know how long I'm going to last when these young people start speaking. But I wouldn't understand a lot of them probably, you know, because I only speak what I was speaking when I was growing up. And of course, I communicate with every speaker, you know. So I don't know, you know, this is something that, you know, I don't want to change. You know, and I hang on to it with my dear life because, you know, and I speak every chance I get, you know, I speak to my grandkids, I speak to people, and, you know, the one that does speak, that's all I speak to them with. Okay. Here's another one. Do you live here? Yan legi chidoa. We're going to go through these doors too. We're going to get that. Yan is here. Legi, live. Chi, remember, you, personal pronoun, doa. Yan legi chidoa. Look at all these sounds. Yan legi chidoa. How many years have you lived here? Solobi na jomen legit chidoa. Look at this ending. One is yan legit chidoa up, and then this is like yan legit solobi na jomen legit chidoa. See? Yeah, and I'm going to put some stories up here. I got some stories too. And we'll put it in, and one day, if we can break these classes up, like, I want y'all to read them. I'd like for y'all to read this. Maybe next 2 weeks, just read them. And let me see if you're getting these sounds down right. Yeah, I got stories. I got some personal stories that I've written too. You know, it's a, you know, a lot of us have stories of olden days, what we were told. You know, and you remember the speaker I had on here, we was talking about that. These young kids don't know this now. They don't know them. And we're losing it by doing that, not talking to our kids, even our little cooking things. We were talking about cooking here. She called me just yesterday, and we was talking yesterday evening. Oh, that was Sunday evening. We was talking, and she said, even that talk we had has changed my thinking. Boy, I need to get on the ball. I need to get on the ball. She said, you know, I tell them things, but she said, I don't know how much I tell them. She said, I need to rethink that, and I need to tell them everything that I was told, she said. So see, that's what I'm saying. Even this helps me. Tolobi is years. Najoman is how many? Leggett, she lived here, Doa. Did you get snow? Jinhidodanga. Jin, remember, third person, because I'm talking to this other person. Jinhidodanga, I'm talking to them. I mean, second person. Jinhidodanga. So if I come to Brandon and I said, Jinhidodanga, second person, he would say, okay. Who is your grandma? This is a common question against for Mvskoke people. Because I know I see kids, even the kids my grandkids hang around with, and I'll say, who's your grandma? Or who's your great grandma? Because I may not know their parents, but I know their great grandma and grandma. That's how old I am. Iste mat Chibushidoa. Who's your grandma? Bushi is grandma, but when you put G, you're talking the second person. Okay? Chibushidoa. So I'm talking to Brandon. Istemat Chibushidoa. See, I'm talking to him, so I say G. Who is your grandpa? Istemat Chibujadoa. Doa. Istemat Chibujadoa. Who's your grandpa? Boja is grandpa. But when I put G on there, I'm saying your grandpa. Talking to you, second person, personal pronouns. What's your dog's name? Nagit. Look here. Nagit. Ifa Bojifgadoa. There ain't no year in there. But this is where situation comes in. If I'm over at your house and I say, Nugget, if a hojifkadoa, what's your dog's name? See, that situation. Nugget, if a hojifkadoa. Which direction do you live? Is the man Fachanle get chidoa? Wahala, south. Honita, north. Hasaklatka, west. Hasosa, east. Okay, look here. Wahala. Wahala, south. Honitha, north. Ha sak latka west. Ha so sa east. Do you live in town? I just asked this here the other day when I know a woman that's out of state right now. She's traveling, and I said, "Dalo orphan, orphan is inside, okay? Dalof is short for dalofa. Orphan is inside. Legit, live. Chidoa, do you live in town? But right here, literal, town, inside, live. Gee, you, do you? It's any questions so far? Do we need it? We're gonna go back over these, guys, and I'm gonna put those other lessons that we had previously, the personal pronouns, the noun, verb, adjective, sentences that will explain all this. And you might, I don't know if it's in the, I don't know if they're in the previous ones. It should be in the previous lessons. Of course, there's been a lot of lessons. Just scroll back through and see if you can
Yeah.
find them.
Mvhayv, will you repeat that sentence? There's a little symbol there. Instead of saying may, you said main or
The
non.
man. It's the man. See, instead of saying it's the man, I just put the man. And that mark, see, that's saying there should be more, but there isn't. It's the man. It's the man. It's the man is where too, but I just shortened it and put it's the man.
Okay.
Wahala. Honesa. Hasaplaka. Hasosa. So which direction do you live in? It's the man. I'm asking you a question. Can you tell me?
From where you're at, Waha, is that a V? A Wahala, Wahala. No.
There you go.
No, but
Go
I'm
back
not,
to your
but
sound paper.
I'm north. I'm north.
You're north? Okay, so
Yeah.
how do you say north? Oh,
Honissa,
yeah. Honitha.
Honitha,
This is where your sounds come in. Go to your two-letter sound. Honitha.
Honitha. Okay.
Honitha.
Okay. Hello.
So see how these sound? These are all in there. Ha, sa, la, ka. Ha, so, sa. These are all in those single, two-letter sounds and three-letter sounds. They're all in there. Is it a big town? Daloflakidoa. Dalova's town. Dalof is short for Dalova. Thaki means big. Doa, is it? What is the name of the town? Dalofa. Nagit Hojifgadua. See, I'm using tones how I would speak to a person. And you know, we do speak in tones, but now you're finding out you're speaking in sounds. All sounds. But remember now, grandma is bushy. Grandpa is buja. Snow is hidodi. Tholobi is years. You're learning all kinds of words here. Four is B. Four is B. Learn flies is dumgi. But that's an infinitive verb. Dumgida. Dumgida. Remember we studied infinitive verbs. Borsit. Gaba is cold. If you found out walkies is barks. It's a barking dog. These are new words, guys, and everything. Idol. Dolgis means fallen. Corn is udgy. Jofi is rabbit. Dying is Elis is dying. Elis, look at Goffin. Coffee. Learning things here, guys. Oh, I know. Hasiskivka, sun measure. Hasiskivka. Hasiskivka de hokolat. Huyanibiga. Maro de getsaget. Now let me know if you got comments and stuff. Let me know. If you're going to learn from this and how this is working, but I'm going to bring those previous papers back up. I think we need to go over them. I will Friday Jihicha go there, and let's see, today's Wednesday, Tuesday. I'll see you Thursday. Thursday in Jihija hey nifkaban hayat got. Man Jihija hides and Friday in Jihicha go. I'll see you Wednesday, the day after the morning of Wednesday, which is Thursday. But I won't see you Friday, okay? Mado again. I'm gonna say Mado and I gotta go. Mado.
Mado, Mvhayv,
Mado.
Mado.
Mado. Oh, God.